Let's see if we can hop in there. All right. Let's get things going. Oh, I forgot to connect the mic. That might help make it sound better. All right. So for these guys, we want a 32 millimeter bit. .32 millimeters. So we'll just pop out our Forstner. And these are not the most expensive either. Definitely not the most expensive, should I say that. But they do the trick just fine, and I think that's also because at the drill press I'm able to adjust speeds and things like that to where they last longer, and they totally just work just fine. So they were quite cheap. I think I bought this entire set. Hinrich, no, I'm not sponsored. I don't have any sponsors, just my viewers. And it's a pretty large set, pretty nicely packaged, honestly. And I think I want to say I spent like 30 or 40 euros on it. So not bad, and definitely worth it to drill some cleaner holes. Okay, so we are going to be drilling into the charcuterie boards that we made. I have the video on my channel, and you can see exactly how these charcuterie boards work. They go together, and this one connects in the middle to where they sit on top of wine bottles, and they're really, really cool. So I'm going to start by drilling the holes into this guy, and then after that we're going to match the bottom two up and get those. So we're sitting at 6.5, which means that we're looking at like 3.2 somewhere. So it's pretty much going to be right on that line. And then I just need to figure out how far I want to come in. It's a 32 millimeter bit. So I want to kind of keep it probably, that looks great right there. Just so it's from far enough from the edge. I'll use that knife to mark it. Boom. Right there. So we're looking at 3.2. So I'm going to transfer that over to this side as well. And there we go. Now, the speeds up here, I think it flashes for you guys when I turn it on. Let's make sure our depth gauge is set properly. So I don't want to go all the way through. I want to be able to turn it around and get a clean hole. So I'm just going to adjust the bandsaw or bandsaw, what am I talking about? Jigsaw down to a lower speed, about 600 RPM. Get it centered on that hole. So like I said, I want to make sure I don't go all the way through. This one I should have stopped a little earlier actually, because it pretty much did go all the way through. We are going to route this guy, so it's okay, but you get cleaner holes when you just go partially through. Yeah, that's the right line. Trying to get out of the corner as well. And then I've got that hole on the back side, and I can use that. And that's going to give me a much cleaner hole. You just pop this little circle guy out, and you can see that there's zero tear out on that guy. So that's why I like to, compared to this one, where I went through from this side, and then on the back side I went through a little further, and you can see the difference. I am going to route this guy, so this isn't bad enough to where it's, you know, concerning or anything, but I mean, you can see just how big of a difference that makes to go in from the other side as well. Okay, so this is our middle piece, and it looks like that. And then what we're going to do is our two side pieces, and these guys are the exact same, and we're just going to pick on this one some random spots. We're going to be having 3 of them total, so there's going to be 3 wine bottles that hold this guy up from the bottom. So obviously just like to go somewhere in this circle area, and then on this left side and right side, and then we'll transfer that over to the other board by just placing it on top and drawing it. So I think it's going to look nice if we kind of continue with this line pattern here, and we do that 3.2-ish, somewhere in that range. This is completely up to you guys. Once again, drilling from both sides just leaves such a nice clean hole and a satisfying feeling of being able to pop that thing out. So there's one, and I think I want this second one right around here. That looks good to me. We could even do it actually a little bit off-centered. I think that'll look nice. I like that idea. Right there looks good. And you want to get these kind of shavings when you're using the drill press. That's going to be the nicest part. Oh crap, there's 11 of you guys in here. Welcome, welcome everybody. If you guys are able to, and you smash that like button, that would be awesome. Definitely helps the YouTube's channel. So that's so satisfying to be able to pop those guys out. I was thinking about making like little tires out of these guys for like a little car for my daughter or something like that. Okay, so now we've got 2, which means that we have 1 more to go on this side, and then we'll transfer the holes over. So for this one, I think we're better off keeping this kind of centered here. And there's no right way or place to put these. Because this is custom designs, so you guys can pick wherever you'd like to put it. Watch. Hello. 19. What's up, everybody? Holy crap. Make sure to hit that like button, guys. Help me out. Help a brother out. Let's get that going. Toter Canned. Hey, how's it going? I don't think I've seen your name before. Welcome in. Welcome in. Okay, so these are the 3 holes that I drilled onto this guy. Now what we're going to do is just take our other piece right here, and we will line these guys up with each other, and I'm going to draw them out with the circle, or the circle, duh. I'm going to draw them out with my pencil, just so that I have a rough idea of where the holes, they do not, I repeat, they do not need to line up. This is 100% just for I don't know why. I'm just doing it. So it's just how I do it. So I want my circles to kind of match up. I guess it just looks nice if they go to put it away or something like that, and everything just lines up with each other. So that's why we do it. But okay, so now we got the first one done. We can move on to the second one. And for this one, like I said, they don't need to line up at all, really. So it doesn't need to be perfect. I just like when things are. So we'll go ahead and drill this one out. Now my stop gauge is set to where it stops, but it is a little deep right now, so I'm also just going off of the sound. Whenever I'm coming through on this cut, you can hear the difference once it starts to near that bottom area. So I don't know if you guys can hear that on the feed or not. Right about there, it started to change. Right about there. And what that change lets me know is that on the back here, you can see just where the tip of it pushed through. Welcome in, everybody. Holy crap, there's 42 of you. So you can just see where the tip started pushing through. And we'll use that as our guide to drill these holes out on this side now. And it just makes such a nicer cut. Hopefully this one catches in the middle, because it did. Perfect. So you can see just how nice that cut is on both sides. We have no tear out whatsoever. This one, it was a little off center, but that's fine because we are going to change this over to the spindle sander, and at that point we'll be able to just sand everything out. This one's looking really nice, and then this one, let's give you guys the little pop out. Boop. Hello. Pops right out. There we go. Nice and clean cut on both sides. All right, so that does it on the drill press. Let's get you guys set up over here now. Welcome to my shop, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, so now that we have our holes drilled out, I can kind of display to you guys, and it doesn't matter which way you put these. That's all up to you. I do have the full video out on my YouTube channel, but you put your wine bottles down on the table, and then you can go ahead and set this guy on top of those wine bottles, and the necks of them will come through the actual unit. And then you can put it into a corner if you'd like of the table. You can do whatever kind of design that you like. And then you can put your cheeses, meats, all that on top. And then on this middle area, sometimes I route out the center here so that you can put like some more wet things, pickles, olives, jams, you name it, whatever you like, whatever you like. So yeah, so now at this point, we are going to get out the router, the big bad boy, the big bad wolf. And we just want to go with a slight round over on this guy. So we'll just take out our 1/8 inch round over. Or in millimeters, it's going to be, what is that? Number 19. Okay, so we're going to take that guy out, get ourselves set up. Hey, how's it going in chat? BB. Whatever that means. I don't know if you're saying baby, like, hey, baby. Or if you're saying something else, but whatever it is, thank you for being here. Really helps out. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let other people know that I exist. And if you guys like cool woodworking projects, I do all kinds of unique things. So today we are going to be finishing up this charcuterie style board. And then we are going to be as well finishing up these 2 cutting boards that I just got done making. So this one is a teak and beechwood cutting board, and this one has a 25-degree chamfer on both edges. I think that looks really, really cool. So we just need to do another layer of oil on this guy. We need to drill the holes in all 4 corners for the feet. And then this one, same thing, another cutting board. This one's got a lot of end grain going throughout it. And this is actually offcuts from all of my other cutting boards that I've made, and then I just placed them together to make this kind of random design. So I thought this one was really, really cool as well. And on this one, I rounded over the edges, so it's got a really nice feel to it all the way around it, which is super, super cool. So on this one, same thing, just need to do some feet today, and then I need to right now they're just curing, like letting that tongue oil sit. So with the tongue oil, you want to apply it, rub it in, let it sit for about 30 minutes or so, or 15 minutes, sorry, somewhere around that. You don't want to just overdo it with the tongue oil. And then afterwards, you come back about 30, 40 minutes later, and you wipe off all the excess, because it's not like a mineral oil. A mineral oil will absorb into the wood and it'll never dry. So the mineral oil that goes onto cutting boards never truly dries and always stays wet. I use mineral oil as well, but I really like using tongue oil because it does cure. It has a long cure time though. So once you apply the oil, you take it off 30 minutes later, and then you give it a couple of days to just sit there and do its curing process. And you just repeat this step over that time, and then it takes sometimes up to 30 days for it to completely cure. So tongue oil definitely takes a lot more time, but when it's finished, you have a far superior water repellent and protection on your pieces. So in my opinion, I like to just make sure my things are protected as well as they can, even if it takes longer than expected. So let's move this bench back a little bit. And let's get... Now, if you guys want to, later as well, I have all of my projects that I've finished so far are right up in this cabinet over here on the right side. You can see a couple little guys in there, but We are going to be getting some of them down because I have a couple more cutting boards up there that are finished curing at this point, and they still need to get their feet attached onto them. So that's going to be another goal for today. And if we can get all of these done, we are going to move on to Subsrcibers Knives. So for those of you who don't know, on my workbench right here, we can see a bunch of different names of subscribers that follow me. And I ask people if they want to make these custom cheese knives. So here's a couple examples. Yes, last night I did a giveaway. So once we reach goals, depending on who enters into that giveaway, we do giveaways. So last night, these are the two knives that two of my subscribers won. So these are cheese knives that I make, and they're completely made out of wood. And this one is a Perota blade with tiger wood for the handle and a slice of tatajuba running through the center of it there. So super cool. And this one was chosen by one of my subscribers. Actually, his name is Mineheart, and he wanted to see a video on how I made these guys. So I do have the full video on my page, and it shows how this knife was made. And then this was the first ever that I made in the shop. And this one is Purple Heart Paduke and a slice of cherry at the bottom. And with this knife, last night, one of the subscribers wanted it. And after we reach that goal, we spin the wheel, and whoever's name is on that wheel and whoever it lands on gets to choose the knife. So he chose my first project. I think that's really cool that he wanted my first ever cheese knife creation. So, and then for those of you who haven't seen it, because I think there's a lot of new people in here today, this is the mallet that I made. And if you guys know who Wes Does It is, if you don't, that's what we should do to you. But if you know Wes Does It, he has a mallet competition going on right now. And I'm going to enter this guy into that this week and see how it does. This is the one that I use for all of my glue ups right now. It's made out of a teak wood with a Purple Heart inlay all the way around. And then the handle itself is made from Purple Heart with teak running through the middle. So I kind of did a difference there and hand carved all of these guys, sanded, oiled, everything. This guy is sweet. So yeah, that's my mallet. I'm really proud of it. I like showing it off. And yeah, and then we also do real knives. I do a lot of those as well. Same thing, asking subscribers what they would like to see on those knives, and then we go from there. So cool. Right now we are going to be getting ready to route this guy down. That way we smooth out all of these edges. And then I'm going to try and see if I can't route the little guy, but I think we're going to have trouble with that because these pieces are thin. So yeah. So this guy's going to give us a little bit of trouble. It's just going to be a little bit more work. That's normal with a lot of my things, that we just need a little bit more work. And what we'll actually do in that case is we'll flip this bench around. That way you guys get a better view of what's going on. I will end up clamping this guy down on the edges here, and we're just going to have to move slowly on this guy to make sure that everything is going smoothly. Welcome in, everybody. I think everybody in here is new, because if you're not, that would be strange, because usually my subscribers are going crazy in the chat with their nonsense. Just kidding. It's never nonsense with them. And right now, there's no activity in chat, which means to me that you guys are new here. All right, let's bring you guys in, show you what's going on. probably going to be better from this view for you. Okay, so what we're going to do for this guy is we are going to set our depth. So on our DeWalt system, we have the depth gauge over here. I don't really use this top one too much right now. It's only when I'm doing inlays where I want to be precise, and then I'll set this and be able to drop down to that height. So what I really do at this point is I just unlock the depth height and bring it down on my piece and kind of get it where I want it to, because like I said, I just want a slight round over on this guy, and then I can lock it with this back paddle right here. So this is going to be a very slight round over, which is great. I think that's going to be great. And you know what I can do that will actually help save me some time is I can bring this guy up a little bit, and that will allow for my router to go all the way or further around. I'll be able to do this entire half side with the router in one go. So now when you're using this guy, we do on smaller bits. The smaller the bit, the higher the speed. Now you really don't ever need to go all the way up to 7. I mean, I guess if you have some really hard wood, you might have to, but for the most part, on the smaller bits, I'm usually running around 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, and that's going to be just fine for this. So speed setting 4 or 5. We'll keep it on 5. That's good for me. If I start to notice some burn marks or things like that, I can always increase the speed, but I don't think we will today. Make sure you've got your safety equipment, glasses, earmuffs, and then we have the vacuum system hooked up to this guy, so we are just going to route it that way. Now this is a plunge router, which means that we are going to be able to plunge down. So we just unlock this back portion, and then that's going to let us really smoothly plunge up and down on this unit. But once we have our depth decided and locked in, at that point, so that looks good to me. Like I said, I just want a little tiny round over. Nothing crazy on this guy. Let's do, come on. Yeah, that looks good. So I have my depth decided. I'll take my lock, make sure everything's down here. Don't worry about that guy. But as long as that's in contact, we can go ahead and lock our depth down. And this would allow you to plunge down. We don't need to do this on this since we're doing all edge pieces, but just letting you guys know that's what that setting would be for. So let's go ahead and route this guy. Router, we are going to move with it since my blade is spinning this way. I want to just go around the entire piece in this other opposite way. Might want to go a little deeper than that. That is not enough of a round over for me. Try that. such a slight round over, but it makes such a difference on the feel and the look of these pieces. All right. A little bit of sanding on that, but that's okay. Show you guys what we've got so far. So like I said, we just do a slight round over on these guys. Nothing crazy, but it does make a big difference on the actual feel of these pieces. So once we've got that, we're going to come through later with a little bit of hand sandpaper. We're going to put on the drill press, where you are going to put the drum sander, and we'll be able to sand the insides of these circles really easily, and some of them don't even need it, so I might be able to just get away with the hand sanding on all of this. But that's what we're gonna do. This one is gonna be awesome once we get some oil onto this piece. So now we can move on to our next one and get this guy routed out. And we just rinse and repeat. It's all the same stuff. Well, same, but different. Hope everyone's having a good day. Thank you all for being here and showing your support. It makes a big difference on these small YouTube channels. feel like pina coladas. Hey, how's it going? Snogger, E26. Nice to meet you, man. I don't think I've seen you before. Welcome, welcome. We are working on this wine bottle charcuterie style board. Goes pretty quick. All right, that's all of these edges rounded over on that one. Take a look, take a look, take a look, skis. It's pretty cool. This one is Paduk with Tatajuba, tiger wood, and beech wood, all interlapped that we glued together. Now we're just working on rounding over the edges ever so slightly. We'll come back through with some hand sandpaper. That's a weird shape, especially with what I was doing to it. Anywho, what you end up doing is putting your wine bottles underneath, and then you can put your cheeses and things like that on top of these guys for any of the parties that you might have. So you could put cheeses and meats, and then there's a middle piece over here that goes in between them. So this one would connect to this one, and then this one would connect to this one, and then you have yourself a serving tray that can be positioned in multiple different ways. And I do have a full video of how I make these guys. It's pretty self-explanatory if you ask me, but there's a full video out there on my page. There's a lot of cool things on the page of things I make. But yeah, we're gonna finish routing this guy out, and then we are gonna jump over to do a slight hand sand on this guy, and after that we can move on to the cutting boards that are in the back. I think you can see just the bottoms of them right now, and we need to install some feet on those guys. So a lot of work to be done today, and then after that we're going to jump back into Subsrcibers Knives. So for those of you who don't know this channel, I like to build knives, and I like to build wooden cheese knives as well. And I ask my subscribers to select types of wood that they would like to see a cheese knife made out of, the design that they want to see made, all the details that go into these cheese knives, and you guys get to choose those. So it's a lot of fun. Oh no! Oh no! I've never had that happen before. I bet you that this Tatajuba was a little oily on that side. Well, that's a first for me. Actually, the tiger wood. All right. We can fix this though because it's a clean break. Shit happens. Shit happens. Oh no. A couple pieces that are not so clean. All right, let's fix this guy, and then we can move on to the cutting boards while we wait for that to set. Not a problem. These things happen. So all you got to do is fix things. You know, be ridiculous if we just threw everything away after it breaks. It's quite a simple fix here. What we're going to do, I will show you. We are going to get some 80 grit because we just want to scuff up this area, and then we're going to actually take some acetone. So I was a little worried about something like that happening with it hanging off the edge and not having support. I should have just clamped it down to the table like I usually do and just taken my time. That way this board wouldn't have had that pressure. So what happened was we had this guy right underneath here, clamped down like that. When my router weight started to go over the edge here, it broke it. Things happen. And this is what happens when you try to rush processes, is what we should say as well, you know? So, a nice little way of doing this guy, though, is to line your piece up with a flat surface. In this case, I'm going to use my workbench because I know that my workbench is nice and smooth because I use it for the table saw. So we'll line that piece up, bring that up, there we go, and bring that up. Now what I'm doing here is just perfect. Setting that flat, because I'm just going to take some 80 grit sandpaper Hey, Benners. Hey, I did not get an email yet, so I don't know if you got around to that or not, but I was just checking for emails and I did not see one yet, just to let you know. So I just want to see if you sent one, and if you did, we need to figure out that problem. All right, so that's good for that side. I don't know if you saw, Benners, but I snapped this guy trying to rush the process. You know how that goes. Try to rush a process and end up costing yourself a longer time than it would have taken to just move the piece around a couple times, you know? That's all right. Won't let that mistake happen again. So right now I'm just lining it up with my flat surface just to give me a little bit of a helping hand with sanding this guy down. Okay. Which is crazy. You think that when you break things or like cut your finger off, people are going to be like, oh my God, and stay. Must have been one. Like I said, I don't know if you were here and saw, but I was trying to rush the process, and I was trying to rush the process by using this piece to hold it off of the table just a little bit so that I could take my router across a greater surface area, because if I didn't have that height advantage, my router would bottom out on the table. So I wanted to try and skip that by bringing it off a little bit, and I had it mounted right here on the edge like so, and when I went with my router to get around one of these edges, it had too much force on it and snapped this guy off. Shit happens, you know. It's all right. It's all right. So yeah, this is where we're at. In fact, I should sand both of these. If I had my little hand planer, I could just plane these guys down to each other. And that would work really well. But poor little old me does not own one. So we're just trying to make do. People got to understand that. Sometimes making do is much harder than just getting the right tool for the job. The plane would be the proper way of doing this. Exactly. We're just going to fix it though. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all to get this guy fixed. I could whip out the jointer real quick. That might be the best way, just to get a really nice clean surface on all of these. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that just for just for good old fashioned keepsakes. I really need to buy a hand plane. That would be awesome. I want to buy a hand plane. I want to buy a bench top. I mean, I would like a real size one, bandsaw, but bench top will do. Bench top will do. Yeah, you make it, you break it, you fix it. And a drum sander. A drum sander would be nice as well. So, but I mean, I have a majority of the tools that I need for the jobs that I'm doing. Being that, you know, I moved over here to France not all too long ago, and I've just been re-accumulating tools since then. So, it's not as easy as I thought it would be to buy back all of my tools. Because, yeah, shit costs money. Not gonna lie, I don't really recommend this tool all that much. But for if you're on a budget, then this is the tool for you, just like me. I think you guys are gonna want to see the outfeed section. There we go. All right, got that guy set up. All right, so we're just going to run these two little guys through real quick. might be able to. I'm going to see how comfortable it feels holding both at the same time so that they are an identical match. Not the move. One at a time is the move. There we go. Dust collection. It's a must on these machines. So there's that. Okay, we are just about set up. We just need power. Alrighty. So yeah, tried to save myself, 2 minutes of time, and because of me trying to save myself 2 minutes of time, here I am setting up my other machine again, which I need to build a dedicated bench for so I don't have to do this every time, so that I can fix this piece that should have taken me 2 extra minutes to begin with. Make sure to hit that like button. Alrighty, so let's get some ear protection. This guy gets kind of loud. Hopefully she wants to start up. This thing is a pain in the ass when you trip it. And the last time I was using it, I tripped it. Alright, so that's much better. Much better fit. If I can hold on to it and show you guys. But those are 2 clean edges now. So that's going to do the trick. The only thing that I'm going to have to do is cut the base now, because obviously they're not going to line up. I think it's better for me to line this guy up and cut out the bottom here, and then we'll be fine. Much better. Okay. That'd be cool if I switched it up. That definitely looks like a dick, though. But I could, because these are all just random orders, so I don't have to keep it all the same. I could do it a different way. I don't know if it's worth it, though. I think I like that style. It's pretty cool, though. Ideas for next time. Ideas for next time. We'll make a penis-shaped one later. That'll be our next big project to post on YouTube. Penis-shaped charcuterie boards. Maybe that'll get the likes going. Because whatever it is I'm doing right now, it ain't working. All right. Well, I'm glad I got to set up my machine for 30 seconds of use. Thanks, man. And originally I was born in Germany, but then I moved to the States when I was 10. And I've been in Ohio pretty much ever since then, and then Hawaii for a few years. And then after that, now I just moved to France last year. I think it's actually just at a year now. So it's been a one hell of an adventure so far. Let's just say that. Now this thing is going to be a little weird to clamp up. I think I've got an idea for that though. So I definitely want to get some clamping pressure on this guy. This is just for the glue. Hey, what's up, Wes? What it do, man? I just snapped my my board a minute ago that I was working on. Trying to save time, you know how that goes, right? Trying to save just a couple seconds of time, and instead I cost myself all the time that I was trying to cut out, you know? You know what I'm saying? All right, so for this, shit, I just threw that scrap away. Oh no, I didn't. Oh wait, I think I have the actual scrap. And that might just do the trick if I can find the right pieces. Coming up next on Digging Through the Trash, will Brandon find the pieces that he's looking for? That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, let's see. Just trying to find something that'll give me, I guess that one would work there. That's that, but that's not enough to get clamping pressure. This will work right there. That'll do. Okay. And then for that guy, oh, I know exactly. I don't think that's going to be able to work. Because I took the big cutoff from here and I turned it into my cutting boards, or not cutting boards, but let's see if we can't just use a certain piece that's long enough. Just trying to get something to get a better clamping pressure. That'll do. That's just fine. Doesn't really need all that much pressure anyways. Because next time I promise to be gentle on the glue, or on the routering of this guy. Shit happens. Shit happens, Wes. It's all good in the hood. It's all groovy. We are going to take this guy to the little hospital and get him fixed right up. Maybe I should get a clean cloth and ensure that this glue up goes seamlessly. So I'm just going to take a little bit of isopropyl. That way it evaporates quickly. And make sure that there's no dust on this guy. Got an itchy nose. Okay, let's retrieve clamps that I didn't think I would need anymore. I also don't need that board in the way. We'll deal with that in a minute. Need to refill this bottle. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you guys got some fun adventures planned for today. And if you don't, then I hope I am that adventure for the day. Because why not? Why not? All right, we got some glue on that guy. Okay, we are going to line up. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more glue. Where did I just put that guy? Down here. I want to be extra sure that this guy is good to go. Because trust me, guys, you'd much rather have a little bit of squeeze out than to not have enough. All right, let's see if we can't get this guy to work with us. I don't think I'm going to be able to get clamping pressure down on this guy right here. I think it's going to be fine no matter what, but let's try every option before we give up. Would you look at that? Oh, sliding. Too much pressure. Okay, there we go. Let's take a dirty rag. And wipe this puppy off. See? We would have been done with this piece already now if I wouldn't have tried to rush the process, but that's all right. We learned a valuable lesson, which is don't rush the process. Just want to clean off this glue real quick, guys. Then I'll jump right back in. On the bright side, that eliminates the rest of routing, so you guys don't need to see any more routing for today. And we will move on to working on these cutting board legs, getting those installed. All right. Man, gotta stop going through these rags like they're just candy. I do try to wash as many as I can to recuperate them, but so many of them end up going to waste is what it feels like. All right, so router, we're gonna put you on standby for now until we have a properly glued surface that's ready to work with. See if we can't make this in the trash. Buckets. this guy back here. My daughter's little squirt bottle that I use for water popping my boards. Don't tell her, because if you do, she comes in here and she takes it right back. And I need it. Okay. So, we've got these legs that we're going to... What the heck? Oh, underneath here. My beautiful sanding block. I love it, actually. It's really nice. So, we'll put table in front, and we are going to get you guys... Thanks, man. Make sure that chat's good to go here. Boom. We're going to move over to the sander. What the hell am I talking about? We're going to move over to the drill press again, and we are going to install these legs. So this is one set of legs that I like to use. It's a brass foot for the cutting boards, and I just think they're really nice on some of these cutting boards. So the more higher end cutting boards get these feet, and then the other cutting boards that I don't think so fondly of get the little plastic black feet, which are right here. And there's nothing wrong with these. I think these look just nice as well, but they're small, they're plastic, and yeah, that's them. So I use these on the ones that I don't enjoy as much, or in this case, starting now, are going to be a lot more other other boards. Until I know that some of these high-end boards sell, I'm not going to be putting $20 sets of legs on all of them. All right, so we have these two up here that need legs. So those are the two beech and Wenge boards. So both of those need legs. Now this one is a more simple board that I don't think too fondly of. It's just because it's simple. I'm not saying it's not beautiful. It's got routed hand grooves just like all the other ones. It's got the juice grooves. It's a very nice and thick, sturdy board. It's beautiful. This one I like more, and this one happened by mistake. The router slipped and cut into one of my pieces here, so I ended up cutting that section out and putting two stripes going the opposite direction. So mistake, just like today, fixed it, made something else out of it. This one is going to get golden legs, brass legs. Wish I could afford golden legs. So this one's going to be black legs. And then I'm not sure which one of these. I'm thinking this one should get the other set of golden legs. Because I only have two more sets of the golden legs. But I think this one should get the golden legs. And then this one should just have the small black feet. What do you guys think? Or should I put the golden legs? Yeah, see, I don't know about that. I think the golden legs are going to go on this guy. I think that's a much nicer fit for the darker colors to mix in with it. This one just, the brass isn't looking to doesn't contrast it as well. I think the black is going to contrast this one very nicely. So we can find out if I'm right or wrong. The only thing I'm not sure of with these legs, the black ones, is I thought that they'd be a little larger. That's what she said. But yeah, see, these are just tiny legs. But I think the blacks definitely look better on this board here. And it's going to be a sleek design is what we'll call it, you know. These are cheap legs, but I'm able to do quite a few cutting boards with them. So it is what it is, you know. Not everybody wants to spend the extra money on cutting board feet. And I get it, you know. I get it. It's whatever. It's whatever. You know, this is more for people who enjoy nice things or want to give a gift to someone they know that loves cooking, for instance, or something like that, you know. You know what I will say about Paduk end grain, though, is it ain't that pretty. It really goes dark, dark, dark. I mean, so you can see the Paduk here, and then you can see this right here is Paduk end grain, and it is like almost black. It's almost as black as the Wenge is, you know. It's super dark. So just to let you guys know, if you are going to do Wenge or Paduk end grain, keep that in mind because it is way darker on the end grain once it gets oiled than it is on the face grain. So there's that. Yeah, this is a cool cutting board. I'm gonna make this the top section, so this will be the bottom. Okay, so I think gold legs on this guy. I don't want to put it on the table actually. Gold legs on this guy. So that's where we're gonna start. Gold, gold. It's brass. Brass. Same difference, right? Okay. So follow me. Oh, let's clean up the camera a little bit. I don't know if it makes a difference for you guys, but it didn't look all that pretty. I hope my phone feels a little hot, so I hope it stays live for you, ladies and gentlemen. If it cuts out, y'all know that the phone overheated. Should put like an ice pack attached to it. All right, so we're back at the drill press. And I actually think a better view for you guys is unfortunately from the computer side, because that way my arms aren't in the way and things like that when we're running the drill press. So there we go. I didn't lose it in the trash this time. If you know, you know. Okay, so Forstner bit out. We are moving on to regular drill bits for wood. And we need a very small size because this is just a pre-drill for our screws, and that's it. So we're going to take a size 2. These screws are so small compared to the material that we're working with anyways, to where there's not a chance of it splitting the wood and stuff like that. But we are going to do the correct steps so that we don't have any issues. Am I right, people? All right, so let's see. What we want to do here is we are going to set the depth stop. And like I said, these screws are tiny. So, get out of my way. Oh, nope. Don't go down on the board. Oh my goodness. This depth stop on here, I really like this unit. That thing tightens up quite a bit. It gets really hard. So they're really small screws. If I go about just a tiny bit, I'd say 1/4 inch into the material, we're going to be just fine. So take my stop, bring it down to there. Okay, that's step one. Important step, but not the most important. I'll show you what the most important is that I've realized. The most important step is to build jigs. If you know or do woodworking, you understand the value of jigs. And I ain't talking about like getting jiggy with it. I'm talking about jiggity biggity wiggities that help us with certain processes. So we are going to build a tiny jig that is so simple, yet makes such a huge difference. Like, I mean, just look at how beautiful this jig is. That's it, people. That's it. Usually I super glue them together right on the inside, but a couple pieces of tape is going to do the trick just fine. Or am I skipping that crucial step that we just talked about? That's going to ensure the safety of this guy. Not safety, but repetition process. I'm just putting this extra tape on here so that the boards don't slide from each other as I'm going to do this. So let's make sure that we have this also. Now this one's going to be a different height, so we'll start with the one that we just measured, which is this one. And what we're going to do, let me get this cord out of the way for you guys. Abracadabra. There we go. What we're going to do is take a measurement. Let me reach through here real quick. Don't mind me. Or we don't even really need to do a measurement as much as we just need to kind of play with it. Because if you don't have to measure, you shouldn't measure. Now I think I already know what I kind of like on this one. And what I kind of like is having it on this beech wood. Something like that. So that's really all I needed to do. Just kind of find out where I like it. I'm not worried about, oh, it's, 3 centimeters from that side and 3 from that side, or 3.5 from that side. I mean, if you want to be, you definitely can. But on these cutting boards, since they're so artisanal, my God, my eye is pretty good. I have it at 3.3 from this direction and 3.4 from this direction. I guess we can go ahead and bring this down to 3.3 to make everybody extremely happy. Everybody wins. Okay, so we've got that figured out. Now I'm just going to grab 2 more clamps, 2 of my shittiest clamps that I first purchased when I got here because I needed some clamps, and I couldn't get myself to purchase nice clamps because the ones that they have at the store are the price of nice clamps, but they are not nice clamps if you ask me. So I made the decision to hold off on buying nice clamps until Amazon delivered them. So that was kind of my reason for not buying clamps earlier and just buying what would do the trick for me instead, so that I could wait to get the nice clamps that I wanted. Okay, et voila. Here's our jig that we just set up, which is going to allow us to set these guys at 3.3 and 3.3 each side and drill our little holes. That's it. That is literally all we're doing here. Okay, so now we've got our 4 holes drilled into this piece. Easy, easy peasy. Let's put that to the side, because what I've come to realize is that, yeah, see, and that's not gonna work for over here, because this is a much thicker cutting board and larger than that other one. So the spacing is going to be a little different, if you ask me. And it's not rounded over. It's got a completely different design. So I'm going to just bring this guy out. Let's see how close again I can get with the measurements here. So that's what I kind of wanted at. Sitting at 2.2 from this side and 2.1 from this side. So let's bring that up to the 2.2 on that side. And then we need to adjust our stop depth just to make sure we are good to go. That should be fine right there. Voila. Now we just need to adjust our positioning, so you can see how big of a difference that plays on this one right here. Okay. Ooh, I tapped that. I tapped it. Okay. I'd still drill at 3.4 just because. There we go. All right, now we got our depth set up on this guy. Looks good. Stops set up. Looks good. Let's just start drilling. Okay, so there's our golden legs. So we got golden legs out of the way now. I keep saying golden, but they are brass. I know, I'm broke. Whatever. Say what you want to. Next up is going to be little black feet. Little black feet. And for that, we want to grab our other board, because once again, these guys are going to be spaced differently. So this one is the other board that I want to just put some black feet on, and I'm going to need the mechanical pencil to get through these guys because they're so tiny. So tiny. Oh, so tiny. So tiny and funny and cute. Okay. Let's see what we got here. What do you guys think the distance is on that? What do you think that is? How many centimeters over and down? Did I get close? It looks like this is a little further away from here. Let's find out. What are the guesses? I'm gonna say that looks like a 1.7 to me, centimeters. Let's see. Put your guesses in chat. We'll see who gets the closest here. Oh, pretty close, pretty close. Oh, pretty close. Okay, put your guesses in chat. I will hold it up one more time. How far away do you think this hole is from either side? And yes, you have to do it in centimeters. No, I'm just kidding. You can do it in inches if you want, but you are going to have to convert it. Let's see. Okay, and I will tell you the answer once you've guessed. Oh, Benners! I guessed 1.7. You guessed 1.6. It is indeed 1.6 away from this top edge and 1.5 from this bottom edge. So we are going to move it to 1.6. Good guess. That's awesome. 1.6 it is. 1.7 and 1. You think I'd be off with my eye by 0.2? No way. No way, Snoggard. No way. I would never be off that far. Just kidding. Okay. Keep this guy in place. Ugh. Apply pressure. Okay, so that one is secured. Dang, Benners. Can't believe you were on the frickin' money. But if Snoggard would have said 1.5 to kind of beat you on that sense of thing, like, you know, the Price is Right kind of contestant crap, then he would have been 100% accurate as well. Okay, there's that side. That side. That side. And that side. So there's that board. And then we just have our other little guy here. And I think this one's going to be the same, but let's find out. Yeah. Yeah, that should do the trick for me. Let's just make sure our stop gauge is set. We might have to bring that down just a hair. Well, actually no. I think we're good. Okay. Maybe I should see which side I like more for the top. They're both the same. All right, cool. Well, this one's got a cool knot. Let's keep that up top. I like the knots. I like it when it's a little naughty. Ah, cool. Snow guard. I like that. It's not Snoggard. You don't like Snoggard? I like Snoggard. Snow guard. All right, cool. Snow guard. I see it. I see it, man. That sounds like it would be like a sweet ass, like gamer tag as well. I like to play a lot of Rust. Is one of my favorite games on the PC. I love it. And that sounds like it would be a killer name on Rust. Snowguard. Yeah, I said Snoggard, like snaw, and then guard, Snoggard. Snowguard is much cooler. Makes much more sense than Snoggard. Like what the hell is Snoggard? Snowguard's so much cooler. All right, let's get some action back on the cutting boards. In fact, we're gonna hit everyone with that West Does It style. West Does It style. Okay. So, we've got our small cutting boards. Let's get these other ones out of the way that are going to be with the nicer legs. Get those nicer legs out of here. And then we can begin the process with these cutting boards. I guess we'll just start with the latest and greatest of our collection here. This is the brick patterns made out of teak and beech wood. We are going to be applying some of these black legs to this guy. And I think that's going to be a nice look on these. Definitely cool. Definitely cool. Okay. Rubber gasket. That's always good to see come out of these. That's all right. Okay. A dwarf with a battle axe? Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, let's get. Apparently, they're making a new Lord of the Rings game that's supposed to be open world, and it's supposed to be really cool. But I never know what those games. Oh, this is. Oh no, that's the right way. Yeah, that'd be it. Sometimes games are like really hit and miss, and it's hard to get yourself to spend, $60 on a game, and then you don't even like it. Oh yeah, those are cool. I actually like those. That's not bad. Not bad. The spacing looks a little off. Maybe I should have spaced it equally in between the teak, but from edge to edge, they are identical. Which also, did I fuck up? It was at this moment he realized he fucked up. I mean, it's going to be just fine. I don't think anybody's ever going to care or mention that, but dude, I fucked up. Did I? 10? I mean, it's so slightly off. It just looks off because I'll show you guys here in a second. Looks off because of the teak and where the teak lands on this guy. Like I said, either way, totally fine. Nobody's gonna complain about that, I don't think. And if they do, great. This cutting board's not for them. Where is this? these differences coming from on this board. It's very interesting. I don't understand. That's there, that's there. I am confused what I did wrong on this one. That's okay. We will figure it out and move on with our lives. So like I said, I don't think... What did I do on that jig? Maybe there's something... Something's not mathing. Because these two look like they line up perfectly with each other, but then these guys don't. Oh, it's gonna throw my OCD off the charts, but that's okay. Because 99% of the time, it's gonna be sitting like this. That's nice. I really like that. Show you guys with a side view. Oh, nope, it says rotate. Rotate camera back. We'll take the camera out to show you. That might be a better choice. Yeah, that's nice. Kind of looks like a chessboard of some sort. Yeah, you did something, man. This is your fault. You're gonna have to buy this cutting board now, because nobody's gonna buy it after that mess up. All right, so this one is complete. We just got the legs on the back. I think that's acceptable, even though it's definitely a little off. Looks to me, I know why one of them is further on each side. It's further from the teak. I get that part, but the in and out technically should all be the same, which is just the weird part. Okay, moving on. Let's do the other board. So the next one, yeah, rustic, exactly, rustic. This is the next board that we have, which is just that more simplified version of beech and wenge. It's got some serious heft. I do have the handles routed out, the juice groove routed out as well. So definitely a nicer board. But it is going to be getting these small feet. Now I hope it's not something with the jig that I set up. Let's triple check everything. Like how I was feeding it in there messed it up for some reason. I don't know. So that's right at the front. So strange. It shouldn't do that. Right at the front. Right at the front. So that's the first one I drilled. And it's right on cue. But then this one is just ever right at the front and then just a little behind. Interesting. I have no idea what I did. Maybe I should have glued those jig pieces together. Maybe that's what it is. It was like, you know what, screw you, Brandon. We're going to wiggle around ever so slightly because you want to skip another step and try and get away with it. Well, we're here to tell you, you can't. Definitely like these black legs, though, for being so simple and cheap. Or, sorry, affordable. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's, I guess it depends on who you ask. If you show an engineer, they're gonna notice and they're gonna say, you know, it's that's 1.7 from this side and 1.9 from that side. What's going on, good sir? But if you show the average homeowner of America, they're gonna have no idea what you are talking about. They're gonna say, looks good, looks real good. Cool. Legs on this one, definitely harder to tell that anything's off here. So that's cool. And I think with these legs you can kind of adjust, so I might have to go through and play with it a little bit because these boards were perfectly flat. And it also could just be this worktop area, but I mean it's barely off, so I think that when you tighten these guys down more, it kind of spreads out and just ever so slightly gives it a height difference, if that makes sense, because it's kind of coming down. So if I do that and I'll play with it on, I mean it's not even a 16th off on that side, so it definitely could be the workbench area as well. So, oops, sorry. Let me show you guys though. This one is the Wenge and Beach. It's actually really nice, but like I said, just not my favorite. So we'll let this one go for a very moderate $750. Just kidding. Just kidding, people. Don't have a hernia. Okay. Now we're on to the golden legs. So we got the legs on those guys. Now we want these legs. Now these I'm going to have much more of a problem with if they don't line up. Which is, it's just weird. On the other cutting boards that I did, my two favorites, they're freaking perfect. So I don't know why the jig was different this time, or if it just slipped or something. We'll see. Like I said, I'm going to slap a rustic sticker on it. Oh no. That screw just broke. I hate brass screws. That's going to be an issue. I could feel, I felt it. Like, I didn't even tighten it that bad. That's going to be an issue. See, guys, nothing ever goes perfectly smoothly. Every once in a while, it goes really nice and easy, but you can't count on everything to just go swimmingly. I prefer the stainless steel. In fact, I should probably just steal from these guys. Those aren't the stainless steel. We're gonna have to figure out how to get that screw out of there though. That really sucks. You know what? I'm not digging these screws. They're scaring me. They are scaring me. I might just pre-drill just a tiny bit larger on this guy as well. That pre-drill is going to be too big. We're going to go with a modest 2.5 on that guy. Just to like I said, I am not trying to risk an ice board. What's pinch? Explain pinch. Yeah, that feels better for that. So that's cool. But now I need to figure out how I'm going to pinch that guy and get it out. God, that sucks. How do I get you out of there? Let's see. I don't have the greatest hand tools right now. That's the major problem here. I thought I was having it, but wonder if these would be a better, or if it's just gonna cut through the, no, that doesn't help at all. They're slightly beveled. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Got too much going on. I might that's a tough one. Let me try something. I do have metal bits. Maybe I can just drill through it to kind of get it out of there. The best way for me to go about that is to protect this side real quick. Grab a file. Yeah, that's another possibility I was thinking of. But I've never tried to. I mean, I've done this kind of stuff when I was working in Hawaii, where we've had to drill out pieces before and things like that. So I do have a little bit of experience and confidence in that. But it's also pretty risky. So, but it is brass, which is a softer metal. So I do think that if I just figure this out, I can drill through it without a problem. So I'm just gonna find center. If I can just ding it just a little bit in center. That way I have less chance of the drill press moving around. Let's see what we can come up with, Benders. Just let's see if we can't fix this. And if we can't fix it, then we you guys know the routine. We throw it in the trash. Just kidding. That's not how we do things around here. All right, so I have just a tiny piece. In fact, I'm gonna get those clamps back out for this. And see if we can't. Oh, there we go. It's like, why isn't the clamp wanting to grip? Okay. I don't want to put too much. There we go. Hold on. Take your time, Brandon. Oh, hold on. Let me check something real quick. Okay, nope, that's right. So let's just adjust a little bit. Let's turn off this laser and turn on the light. That might help more. Okay. Slipping and sliding. We do a little at a time. time. Trying to deflect. Should be I forget I think with metal it's supposed to be slower. But I also think that we're gonna have some trouble since there's that little bit of slippage. You know what? I think we could do. I got a little bit of an idea. Especially since this is the bottom of a board underneath a leg. The problem is the 2mm guy wants to bounce around on us, just not getting it right on the center of this guy. So I'm going to switch out to a larger bit, and then we are going to fill that hole after that, and everything will just be dandy and groovy. Let's bring this bit up. Ugh. Dremel, yeah, I don't know what bit I could use in the Dremel right now exactly that would get in there well. I think this will work as long as I can because it was starting to work for sure. Oops, that slipped. Just be this guy. Adjusted. That looks good. Okay, let's put a little dab of oil. Since when is brass so damn hard? Are they stainless with brass covering or something? like you said, at least I'm able to get it. At this point, it's flush with the surface, which is great. So I might be better off drilling. I don't want to give up though. I'm a little stubborn guy. Okay, at least it's flush with the surface, guys. We are gonna have to just move that leg or figure out what we can do to get this guy out of here. But every time I'm trying to drill through with the metal bits, I am having trouble. So it's trying to push it off to the side, and I don't want to let it do that necessarily. So I don't know what I could get in there with a Dremel, or if I'm just going to end up making more of a bigger problem, you know? But at this point, at least it's underneath the surface. Man, this board has seen a journey. Let me tell you guys that. First, it got misrouted. On the router slipped a little bit, but because of that, we have this beautiful extra design in here. Originally, it was just these two running along, and so if that mistake wouldn't have happened, these wouldn't have been here. And I think that they make a big difference on this board for the looks. So I think it happened for a reason. Okay, so let's see if there's a direction that I should move this guy. So to the center, we're looking at 2-1. Of course, this hole is perfectly centered as well. You know, that's how it goes. So we can bring it just a tiny bit. Liquid nitrogen, yeah, some lava. I think I'm going to bring it just a tiny bit in. And that way so now it should just be, you know, 1 millimeter in this way and this way compared to the other legs. Screw, please don't let me down. I'm quite scared of these screws at this point. Sometimes things just take longer in the shop than what you expected when you were at the top. Okay. And voila. There we have it. I guess I could have just done that from the beginning, but at least we got it down flush, so everything is the same size. And that will do on that one. Okay, so we got that. We got that. We got that. Oh my God, we got a bunch of tools out of play. I really like this board though. That's super nice. And yeah, I can tell a difference. Obviously, you can see that it's closer than the other ones that were perfect, but it's just one leg. I don't think anyone's really gonna notice too much. And if they do, they just won't buy it. How's that? Other than that, I think it's a beautiful board. So really all I have left to do on this guy now is to possibly do one more coat. It's got 2 or 3 of the oil already, but I definitely want to do some beeswax on top afterwards. So something like that just to seal the deal there. But this guy is all nice and done. Okay, moving on to our last one. So we learned our lesson. So let's not repeat. That's what we try to do in woodworking. We're going to drill out just a little extra. Okay, because it made a big difference on that last one. Okay, so now we've got this guy. And this one is also getting the brass legs. Oh, it's going to feel good to finally have all of these cutting boards finished. It's been a minute of halfway finished products in here, or you know, it's always that 80% mark, and then after that you're like, yeah, I got to do this project. And it's like, oh God, gotta stop my OCD brain from doing that. Oh no, not today, Chuck Key. Not today, Chuck Key. Let's get you back in your home where you belong, so I don't go digging through the trash for too long. 'Cause when I lose my Chuck Key, that's the first place I check. Is the trash can that's next to the rig up. All right. Much better. Feels smooth. Starting to get tight. Don't overdo it. Okay. Nice. 2 for 2. Let's see if we can go 3 for 3. And then 4 for 4 without any screws ripping off. That's crazy. I think it's a reason why we love and hate woodworking is things happen unexpectedly, right? And it's a lot of problem solving, because I should have been done with attaching these legs 10, 15 minutes ago, something like that. You know, I was on the right track until that screw broke, and there was no way of knowing that that would have happened. This one is sweet. I think that's going to be a good, solid board for sale. And I really like some of this teak right here has like a tiny crack through it. Not a problem at all because it's just strong. It's strong enough with everything else holding it together, the solid pieces right next to it, things like that. So I think it just brings some character into the piece itself. And this is just all the cutoffs from all my other cutting boards, which I think is so cool. Instead of throwing them away, because some of these I originally had in the trash, and I was like, you know what, I can use those for a cutting board. So I did. Put them all together, rounded over these edges. It's definitely a unique board, should I say. I like it though. This one might be for us in our kitchen because it's really cool. I'll try and take it to the market first though, see if anyone's interested. And if they're not, it's coming home with us. That's for sure. Okay, those boxes in the trash. These guys. Over here. Okay, trying to get organized, cleaned up, and then we can move on to custom knife making. A bandsaw would help a ton, though, with the cuts that I make for these knives, like a ton. So I think that's definitely the next thing on my list is a bandsaw. All right, bring you guys up into the live action of the. Thanks, Snogard. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks, Snowguard. All right, so I'll show you guys the projects as I'm putting them away into the cabinet above. In this cabinet right here, we've got all kinds of different builds and things like that. So the first one we will be putting back in the cabinet is this cool cutting board with the diagonal shapes. Yeah, really, this one's super cool. I'm definitely going to do some more patterned boards as well here soon. I want to make like a really nice chessboard. I think that would be cool. So I want to do that. And right now I'm just storing everything inside of these cabinets because one, it gets it out of the way from being on my workbench, and two, it keeps the dust off of these pieces because when they were on the workbench, they were just collecting dust. This one is just a simple stripe pattern, and we put these little tiny black legs on it. I like it though. This one I think will do well at the market. I think people will enjoy that one for sure. So that one goes up top. All right. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cutting boards that are complete. 6, I think. Okay. Then we've got our good old-fashioned brick pattern. This one's really nice, and we just went with the simple black legs on it. This one still needs to have another coat of tung oil put on it, but first I'm going to let it really sit for the next day or two and hold on to that finish that's been applied. And the same with this one. This is that more artistic one, which is all 6 of my cutting boards, or all 5, since this is number 6. All those cutoffs put into this one board. So, and then this one got the golden legs, and yeah, perfect. So we'll set those guys. Same thing on this one. Goes over here because I still need to do another coat of oil on that one. Snoggered comes to life. Let's hang this guy back in its proper space. The other thing that I need to start soon is I'm going to try a power carving of a fox out of some of the hardwood that I got from the lumberyard's trash bin. And he told me I am welcome to go through their trash bin anytime I'd like. So I plan on taking full advantage of that because I was able to find a bunch of Paduke in their trash bin and Tatajuba and then some other kind of wood as well. So, well, thank you. Thank you, Snowguard. Yeah, I tried to. I still need to make some bottom drawers. Like I said, I'm still in the process of trying to like organize this place and get it together and things like that. But I really enjoy the setup in here. I have my shop vac underneath my miter saw station with the hose that just comes out from the back over here. So I can just plug that into my miter saw. And I can also use it for like my router attachment or my orbital sander. So I can just pull it out. And then I have a little, I'll show you, because you are new. You are new. So we'll give you a little tour shop, shall we? Okay. So I'm going to take you off. We're going to freehand you in the phone. That way you get to see the whole tour shop. Okay, so on this side over here, we've got the extension cord. I'll show you from outside real quick. The cool part is we're inside a garage and this door opens up. So when it's not blazing hot out and stuff like that, I can just come out here and you can see, collect all of my wood trash. Literally me was filling the trash can. So this is the outside of the house. My beautiful van. But being able to open those garage doors like that is always nice. And then right when we come in, we've got the electrical cord, 50-foot extension, and same thing with the air compressor, 50-foot extension. The air compressor runs down and goes onto the inside here, so we can just keep that in there at all times. And then I just hung a couple of the nail guns on the inside of the door and keep a couple little things down below. As you can tell, I probably need to clean in here. That's a creepy looking dude. So that one is air compressor on that side, and I want to paint these cabinets, like do a really cool kind of like Bob Ross styled painting on them. So over on this one, I have the dust collection system. So that's for the planer that we were just running earlier as well. And then on this one, we have the shop vac and just a couple other little things that I can fit down in here as of right now. But I also want to do a couple of different storage solution ideas for the inside here. Then we have the miter saw station, and then above it we have our drills and our speaker and things like that. And then up here we have our glass cabinets. Like I said, this one I've just put all of the things that I've been building. And so right now we have a bunch of cutting boards, egg holders. So all of these guys are like custom egg holders with their little slide out spots with like Paduke wood, Purple Heart, teak wood, Wenge, my mallets, and then other little projects I've been working on there. And then all of the knives that the subscribers have chosen and made. So every single one of these knives here, the wood, the design, everything was picked out by subscribers on my live feed. So there's those. This side, I keep my batteries and all of my camera equipment for making the videos and things like that. My speaker. Hello. And then up top, I've got some epoxy and other little things. And then moving over to this side over here, we've got like a little French cleat wall system, just to wrap on the inside of the cabinets. And instead of doing cabinets here, that way I could feel a little bit more open when I'm working on the counter over here and not feel like there's always something above my head. So we did the French cleat system over here and built a little thing for the sander to be held. I have not utilized the French cleats yet. I have so many tools that need to go up here that I don't have up right now. So I did one for the chisels because, yeah, why not? And for the router because I use this guy a lot, and the sander. So those two are up there right now, but I definitely need to get some more. Um, and then underneath on this side, that, like I said, I need to build drawers. Excuse me. Build drawers for here. Oh, forgot to show you the coolest part of the shop. So this right here, yeah, whatever. People are like, oh my God, dust is going to get in there. Well, I blow out my shop literally every single day when I'm done using the miter saw and things like that. I just blow all of my dust out into the yard, so I'm not concerned about the holes. If you're so concerned about it, go ahead and plug it up with something. The cool part about this guy though is that this one right here controls the shop vac. So the shop vac kicks on. So I never have to open the cabinets underneath to turn anything on. The middle one right here gives power to the miter saw. So whenever I click that guy, I just like to make sure I can cut that power off in case my daughter comes in here and stuff like that. And then the third one is the dust extraction system. So it's nice to have these up here. It makes it super easy when I'm using the miter saw because I could just come over here. I can turn on miter saw, keep it on if I'm in the shop and it's just me. But anytime I go to make a cut, I just turn this guy on right here. And then I've got the vacuum suction going. And then I can just turn it off after that and put it back in its place. I just had it out because we were using the router. But yeah, so that's simple enough for that. And then moving on, we've got the last cabinet over here, which I keep like the glues and all of my sandpaper right now. I want to make a sandpaper like storage system for the French cleats. That's going to be on the list. And then I keep like my oils on the top left and then cleaning agents on the top right. And then up top, and this garage had nothing before. So my first video ever, you see the entire build out of this garage, except for the cabinets that comes later. But you do see the base cabinets get put in with the countertops and the saw and those kinds of things that I first had when I was here. Boy, those days were fun. But I did all of the drywall, all of the lights for in here. Everything. And then this back wall over here is actually, let me move this guy real quick and I shall show you. So this back wall right here is the water heater. Let me put my level down because that guy always likes to fight me, and get this guy out of the way. So behind this wall right here is a big door that opens up. It's a mess in here, as you can see, but it's got the water heater, and then it's got just like storage. We have so many suitcases in here right now. That's literally a majority of what's taking up the space behind here. And then this is a baby crib that we have listed on Marketplace right now, that we're trying to get rid of. So I just have it covered to keep it dust free. And then I have like my hunting stuff and just a bunch of storage on this side for paints and things like that. But I just like how the door looks because it's pretty well hidden on this guy. And then there's a top storage area over here. And then just recently I built this guy that spans across the top and just put a little kind of arch piece on it so that I could put my other things up there and get some more storage for lumber later on. The next thing that I really need to do as well is right now I'm just kind of keeping all of my woods over in this corner. And I want to build kind of a station up here where I can start to stack all of the wood up top and open up this area back here, because the plan is going to be to build another one of these benches and house that joint or planer inside of that bench and be able to just lift it up and down with a jack on the bench. And that's just going to sit right underneath those shelves right there. And at that point, right over here, I need to, my goodness, put a freezer in. And same thing for that. I'm going to build it on wheels with a wooden surround. And I'm probably going to put the bandsaw or drill press, vice versa, on top of that freezer unit. But I do need to get a freezer in here as well. And then I just want to get rid of this guy. This is just an old cabinet from in here, but right now it's got the rest of my DeWalt tools and all that kind of just stuff just shoved in here right now, you know. So I'd like to get rid of this cabinet and open this back area by getting all of that wood up top here. Or maybe even figuring out, I just don't want to put it up too high because then it's a pain in the ass to get it down every time, just like it is with the rest of this wood right now. So I think that if I do like a storage solution for wood once this cabinet is gone, maybe I can do it, because I really just need to open the door to where it's at right now. So I do kind of have all of this area in between there that I could just do storage on. So that might be the move, just to keep it lower for me and have storage right here for the wood and clean up that back area. But I'm constantly having to figure out organization things for the garage because it is such a small space. I mean, it's pretty large. It's pretty large ceiling wise, but it is a really small space for like the projects that I want to build and things like that. For instance, the walnut that's up there right now. My gosh. Mm, I am so sorry, guys. Not really. Shit happens. The walnut up there is going to be a dining table. It's going to be a river table with the epoxy running through the middle of it. And it's about 5.5 feet long. It was originally like around 11 or 12 feet long, and I cut it in half so that I could get it up there. But that piece I want to build into a river table. And when I go to build that table, I'm going to be soaking up a lot of space in this garage just with building that table. And it's going to eliminate other jobs throughout that time that I can do because it's going to take up so much space, you know? So it's very important for me to figure out the best storage solutions for me in here. And I still have a lot of room up in these cabinets if I really organize them better. And like I said, once I get these, this one's going to be a 3-tiered drawer, 3 or 4-tier drawer. So a bunch of pullouts here. That's going to help a ton with getting rid of some of these tools that I don't use that often. And then over here, I'm going to do a big drawer on top that's not so deep, so just a shallow one that I can kind of put tools and things like that in, and then 2 doors on the bottom of it that I can use for storage underneath it, you know. So that's kind of what I've got going on right now. And then the cleat wall, I need to build some more things for my other tools, because the sooner that I do that, the sooner I can get rid of this cabinet over here that I just don't want in here. So I need to do that. Ugh. Rotating wood cradle, next build. Yeah, the thing is though that whatever I'm doing with storage, like with the wood, I need to get it up off the ground, and just out of my way kind of completely. And it's just got to be high enough to where at least I can slide like my table saw, that's on wheels underneath it and those kinds of things, you know. Um, I also do have a lot of space opening up on the bottom of the table saw now, where I can, which I designed for more wood storage. So I just need to cut some of those boards up and get them on there. But I do like having them in the back of the shop more, especially with like the Paduke and the Tiger wood and those woods that start to change color when exposed to the sun, the Purple Heart and everything like that. So I try my best to just keep them in the back of the shop. So that's why I really need to build that next bench for the planer. That way I have some storage and I can really just start to put all of the wood stacked up back there. Thanks, Snowguard. Yeah, it's been a process, man. This did not happen overnight. That's for sure. Building this shop, I mean, it took it took about 2 months before um, before I even started working on the garage, and it was just so full of stuff, um, that I had to build a shed in the backyard in order to kind of move things right above you, like the big rotating tool parts slash parts place you have. Right above me, like the rotating tool slash parts place you have. I don't understand, Banners. You're speaking jibber jabber. Right above me? Like something, I don't know. But yeah, wood storage solution for sure needs to happen. That would be cool to do one of those like conveyor belt rotating stands on this back wall or something. You just pull the string and it brings down like the next layer. So it's like Purple Heart, Wenge, Paduke, and you just pull the string and then it's down at your waist level, you know? That would be sweet. That seems like one hell of a project. Um, and my wife would kill me on that one. She'd be like, "You are going crazy in this garage." I'd be like, "Yeah, I know." All right, this guy is glued up and fixed. She looks good. So I just need to sand this little hump now, and then just come through, and we'll just cut this guy just ever so slightly. I might even be able to just sand right through that, honestly. It's not even that bad, and just bring it back down. What's up, Wes? Welcome back. Welcome back. How's your day, man? You working today? You going live today? What are you doing today? What is Wes Does It doing? What is Wes doing? Everybody wants to know what Wes is doing. I need some water. It's warm out here. You know it's hot out here for a pimp when he's trying to get the money for the rent. With all the Cadillac and YouTube money spent, there ain't nothing. I need to see that. I need a vice. I need a vice. And I ain't talking alcohol or drugs. I need a vice to clamp down my hardwood. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay, so that guy is good there. People, what time are we working with here? It's got to be getting late. built a $50 Moxon vise yesterday. Oh shoot, Wes, I forgot. I wanted to ask you. Um, I'm gonna bring them in because I don't trust myself to do it. Like these knives, like this one for instance is John's from Not Your Average Woodworking. So I'm actually this one is going to John. But you can see that it doesn't have a blade at all on it. Like it's not carved in here yet. Um, so I'm just gonna take it to a sharpener that works around here and have him do it because I don't know what I need. I don't have a drum sander. I don't have uh, I have like a set of files, but is that just too rough to get the initial edge on it? Or can I just run it through like a standard knife sharpener and like a kitchen one, at this point to get a blade edge? I don't think so because it's just so thick right now. There's literally nothing on this guy. And I saw your video where you make the one with the bolt and the nut and the angle to it so that you can keep it consistent. And I'm just not going to do that right now because I'm kind of on a time crunch. I like what you did there though, because I think I'm going to have to make one if I want to continue to um, make these knives out of the blanks, because it's just not going to make any sense to bring them to someone else to sharpen them and get an initial blade on there. But I just wasn't sure if if there is a simple way for me to put a blade on this guy right now with what I have in the shop, I guess, you know, without ruining it. That's the key part, without ruining it, because I don't want to ruin it before I send it off. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that would be killer, man. That would be killer. So, yes, I will just do that. Um, you said you're going to be going live today at some point? Because I need to figure out what time it is as well. That would be super helpful. My phone is streaming, so you guys got me blocked out of my phone. And my other work phone is currently dead because, well, quite frankly, I don't really usually need to charge it. I just use it for music. So it's dead. Let's get that charged in and we'll find out what time it is. It's 8 a.m. Hey, what's up? It's definitely not 8 a.m. here. Yeah, probably around 2. I'm most likely 6 hours ahead of you guys. So 2 sounds about right. Me getting a little hungry. Me get hungry. Benners, did you ever reply to my question on whether or not you already emailed me or not? Um, and Wes, I'm gonna have you send me an email as well, if you don't mind. Just say hey or something like that. Just be like, hey, it's me, Wes. Um, okay, you sent an email this morning. Perfect. I will have to. Yeah, it's 2 o'clock over here. Okay. All right, cool. And then, um, sent an email. I need to get in touch with what's his name? Eric Makes as well. I haven't received an email from him either yet, so I just want to make sure that I get those. No matter what, I'll get in touch with you guys at some point before this before it goes out. But if I can get this stuff, I can send this. I can send those knives home with my father-in-law, who leaves 1 week earlier than my mom does. So that'd be this Saturday that I can get them back towards Ohio, and then he will ship it out for me from Ohio at that point. Yeah, definitely go check out Wes's lives. He does some cool stuff with cool angles, cool shots, all of that kind of stuff. So, all right, I've got these guys because I think that I should actually get the other things done for today. We will see. Those things took a little longer than expected because of the problems that we had. First problem we encountered, I snapped that piece like it was nobody's business. So we are going to leave that piece alone and continue on it tomorrow, just to make sure that that glue is really nice and good. And then we will, it is I'll type it in. That's easier. Oh, where's chat going? This computer is old as a dinosaur. It is ATP. Those 3 letters are capital. Don't know if that matters or not for the emails. I don't think it does. atpcreations.fr@gmail.com. ATP Oh my God, this keyboard is in this is a French laptop, so the keyboard is completely different. Where's their damn @ sign? Bro, someone's got to help me with this. No, it's on my page. atpcreations.fr@gmail.com. I'm not trying to figure out that @ sign on here. This thing is crazy. There's 3 different symbols on it. I don't know how to get to the to that one. Oh, and this laptop is going to die. It's old. It's old. You should hear that thing fire up. Put a jet engine to shame. Okay, those need to be worked on as well. This guy can go up there. Phone is charging. These LEDs bother me. Okay. Well, end of the day there, which means blow out the shop. Gotta say, I love that cleaning out a garage is as simple as that. Garage shops rule. All right, Snowguard, it was nice meeting you, and I will see you later. As for the rest of you, I will see you guys soon as well. I think I'm going to hop off the live for today. It's been fun. It's been real. But it hasn't been real fun. No, I'm just kidding. But I will see you guys over on Wes's channel. Chop over that way. Peace.